In a pivotal moment for generative AI and spatial computing, World Labs, co-founded by AI pioneer Fei-Fei Li, has officially launched Marble, its first commercially available world model. The system enables creators to generate persistent, explorable 3D environments from text, image, video, or coarse 3D layouts. These worlds are not transient, ephemeral renderings, but downloadable and editable assets that can be integrated into game engines, visual effects pipelines, and VR/AR workflows. What Marble can do: users can create new worlds from scratch via text prompts, single or multiple images, short video clips, or even rough 3D layouts, e.g. walls and planes, as input. Once generated, the worlds are persistent. They don't degrade into incoherence as you navigate them. According to a blog post, Marble produces persistent, navigable, and controllable 3D worlds. No time limits, no morphing, no inconsistency. Users can edit, combine, and expand existing worlds. There are tools for expanding the geometry of a created world, linking multiple worlds together, composer mode, and editing spatial layouts via a hybrid 3D editor called Chisel, allowing the user to block out spatial structure and then apply style via prompt. On the output side, creators can export assets from Marble in multiple formats: Gaussian splats, meshes, or even video outputs, enabling interoperability with downstream workflows like game engines, VFX production, or VR headsets. The model has moved beyond preview and is now generally available via freemium and paid subscription tiers. Free tier plus standard tier, $20 a month, plus Pro Max tiers, offering more generation credits and commercial rights. Why it matters: spatial intelligence and the next frontier. Fei-Fei Li frames the launch of Marble as part of a broader vision of spatial intelligence. In her writing and in interviews, she argues that while large language models, LLMs, have enabled machines to read and write, what's missing is a system's ability to understand, model, and act within three-dimensional space. Marble represents concretely this next step: a world model that doesn't just generate an image or video, but a full 3D environment you can move through, edit, and export. From Li's point of view, this kind of model is foundational for embodied AI, robotics, immersive media, architecture, and many other domains. Leading the pack and looking ahead. While other organizations and labs are working in the world generation or world model space, for example, Genie from Google DeepMind remains in research while preview, Marble appears to push ahead by offering downloadable, persistent 3D worlds, not just on-the-fly generation, and editor tools built for creators. In other words, this is less throwaway scene for demo and more asset you can integrate, edit, build on. That makes it more credible for actual production workflows, gaming, VFX, VR, rather than purely research experiments. Use cases beyond games. While gaming and VR/AR are the most immediate domains that come to mind, the scope is far broader. Some of the potential use cases for a system like Marble include game development: generate large, richly detailed environment assets quickly, drop them into Unreal Engine or Unity, then add logic, interactive elements, physics. As World Labs notes, it's not about replacing the entire pipeline, but massively speeding up the world-building environment asset creation stage. Visual effects, VFX, and film. Directors and visual artists can generate fully explorable sets, edit camera paths, lighting, scenes, all in AI-generated 3D, instead of building everything from scratch. Export to meshes or Gaussian splats for a new kind of flexible rendering pipeline. Fast Company VR, immersive media. For VR filmmakers, architects, or metaverse builders, the ability to generate worlds that are not just static panoramas, but persistent, explorable, and editable opens new creative workflows. Robotics. Simulation. Training robots in the real world is expensive and slow. Marble-type worlds could provide realistic simulation environments where robots learn spatial tasks or operate in 3D worlds before real-world deployment. World Labs mentions exactly this: simulation as use case. Architecture and design. Instead of static renderings, architects can generate immersive 3D worlds of proposed spaces from floor layouts or images, explore them, tweak them, and show them to clients. World Labs explicitly mentions architecture and design as a domain. Key features. Summary. To summarize the standout features of Marble: multimodal input, text prompt, image, video clip, or coarse 3D layout. Persistent 3D environment output, navigable, explorable, not just static frames. Exports in formats compatible with downstream pipelines, Gaussian splats, meshes, video. Editing tools, ability to block out structure, then apply style. Expand world, combine multiple worlds. Subscription pricing model with both free and paid tiers, starting at high $20 month for access. Challenges and considerations. Even with the advances, there are a number of caveats and open questions. Quality and consistency. Despite improvements, generating high-fidelity, fully consistent large-scale worlds remains a hard problem. Blog updates from World Labs admit earlier versions had morphing or coherence issues. Copyright/IP concerns. As with many generative systems, questions arise around using AI-generated assets in commercial work. Who owns the world? Who owns elements inside? Does the model train on copyrighted environments? Performance/scale. Large worlds with detailed geometry and textures may still be heavy to render or integrate into real-time engines or VR with high performance. Interactivity versus static worlds. The current emphasis is on generating editable 3D worlds, but fully interactive logic, physics, AI agents, dynamic simulation, still sits mostly outside the core capabilities. Marble provides the world, but game logic or agent behavior still must be built. Ethical/safety issues. As with all generative AI, misuse possibility, an extremely realistic 3D world mimicking real places, potential for bias or limitations in representation of diverse spatial environments. Why this could define the next era. To understand the importance, consider the evolution. First we had text generation, LLMs, then image generation, then video generation, each broadening the modalities and the creative workflows. What's now being proposed is generation of 3D space itself, environments you can move through, edit, inhabit. That opens the door to embodied AI systems, where agents or humans literally walk through and act within AI-generated spaces. Fei-Fei Li's term spatial intelligence refers to the ability of machines to understand how things live in space, geometry, structure, interaction. The fact that World Labs is shipping a product in this space suggests we've moved from research curiosity to practical tool. That transition matters. Some statements from industry watchers. World Labs is betting on world generation as the next AI frontier. Marble allows users to create persistent, downloadable 3D environments from various inputs. Final thoughts. With Marble, World Labs isn't just incrementalizing generative AI, it's re-architecting the domain. By shifting from images of videos into full 3D, persistent, editable worlds, the company stakes a claim in a space that touches gaming, film, architecture, robotics, simulation, VR, AR, and potentially many other domains. The pricing, export formats, editing tools, and subscription model suggest this is meant for real-world creators, not just research labs. If this product lives up to its promise, we may be witnessing the first credible step toward general-purpose world models. Tool sets that give creators and robots the ability to inhabit, build, and explore 3D spaces with the same kind of ease we now generate images or videos. The ramifications for how we design digital content, train embodied systems, and blur the lines between virtual and physical space are significant. It will be fascinating to see how quickly adoption follows, how creative workflows shift, and how competitors respond. But for now, Marble marks a serious milestone in the evolution of generative AI. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one.